There we go. I just totally left that off. There we go. I just totally left that off. Ah, damn it. There we go. I just totally left that off. I still have a lot of learning to do when it comes to messing with OBS. Especially when it comes to pulling the stream up when I really should be pulling up the web browser on a different screen. I'll have to figure something out. Students from Thor's Military Academy. We're currently visiting this town on a field study. While we are not yet formal members of the army, I'm afraid we cannot simply walk by and ignore a fight in such a public place. Military Academy? So, they're a bunch of soldiers in training? What is happening here? Oh, now look what you've done. Manager Otto. I've been filled in on what's happened. I understand both of you have a permit for the same stall, is that correct? Yeah. And both permits expire at the same time, too. What's the meaning of this? I understand your concerns, but fighting over here is greatly inconveniencing the other customers. I'll be happy to discuss the matter in private, but I'll need to ask you both to put your differences aside until it's been resolved. Okay. I guess. Well, that was a close one. Seems like everything's going to be fine now, though. Yeah, I guess he's the guy in charge. I really appreciate the four of you stepping in to help defuse the situation. Though I suppose I should expect no less from the infamous Class 7 I've heard so much about. Oh? How do you know about Class 7? My name is Otto. I'm the manager of Celdic's Grand Market. I have some things to discuss with you. If you'd be so kind as to come along, I'll treat you to some tea. Jeez, I need to figure out where my phone is. Give me one moment. Interesting. My phone is missing. Huh. Where did I put my phone? I put it somewhere. Okay, I'm back. I had to figure out where my phone was. Indeed. Principal Van Dyke is an old friend of mine, you see. He asked me to personally select a few tasks that you might be able to complete. We appreciate your consideration as well. Likewise, I'm grateful to you for taking some awesome tasks off my hands. And I can't thank you enough for your help at the market. If you hadn't been there, I imagine someone would have wound up getting hurt. I'm just glad we got there when we did. So both merchants will be taking turns using the same stall at the front of the market. That's right. Both their permits are genuine, but their merchandise and temperaments don't lend themselves to be sharing a space. Eventually, they agreed to a compromise, where they would each make use of the front stall on alternative weeks. The other stall we reserved is near the back of the market. However, so whoever's regulated there will likely see far lower sales numbers. That's better than nothing, I guess. It's still really unfortunate. I must admit, I do find this whole matter rather perplexing. To my knowledge, the issuing of market permits is the sole responsibility of each province's ruling lord. For a mistake such as this to have been made in the first place raises some rather unpleasant questions. That's true. It's a lord's duty to control the flow of goods. If he can't handle it, the lord economy could really suffer. Quite right. Ordinarily, that responsibility would fall upon the Duke's household. The Duke? The Croizon province is ruled by the Duke of Alberea, one of the 4 most powerful nobles in the entire country. But lately, the situation surrounding the Duke's household has been getting a bit complicated. Complicated? A few months ago, he increased the sales tax for our market rather significantly, and with a larger percentage of their profits being taken from them, the merchants have begun to get rather desperate. Fights like the one you saw earlier are becoming more and more commonplace. Jeez. Fight among them, yeah. Violence is never the answer, especially current nowadays. Apparently people can't, where both parties on the political sphere can't seem to get along with each other. And they can't agree to disagree on anything. I see. Sales tax is something which should not be raised without careful consideration. History has shown us how damaging such actions can be. Exactly. I mean, like, if you think about it. I've never heard of anything like that happening in the capital. Have you tried raising objections to the increase? Of course, I've even gone to Berea numerous times to petition the Duke's personally. But that always just drive me away at the gate without listening to a word I have to say. This happens to be going on for roughly 2 months now. If that's the case, the mix-up with the permits may be more than just an accident. Are you suggesting they might be getting careless when dealing with the market, or maybe they're deliberately trying to cause problems? I don't think it's a good idea to jump to conclusions. But I will say that before all this began, the soldiers in the guardhouse absolutely would have intervened in a scuffle like that. Oh. Unlike the Imperial Army, a provincial army's main priority is maintaining the status quo throughout their territory. So, mediating arguments which threaten the status quo should absolutely fall within the scope of their duties. Correct. It seems that unless we accept this tax increase, they intend to turn a blind eye to the market. The commanding officer at the guardhouse has even made comments suggesting as much. That's not right at all. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking about matters like this with you. This is strictly an internal affair to be dealt with amongst merchants. You have no reason to concern yourselves with it. You need to be focused on your field study. And I'll have a new list of tasks for you tomorrow morning as well. You will? So you were asked to prepare some for each day of our visit then? That's right. I've got a few different ones in mind too, but I'm sure you're up for them. Or at least I hope you are. Don't worry, we are. We'll do our very best to meet your expectations. That all sounds really unfair. Yeah, I agree. Provincial lords have the duty and the right to decide upon and collect taxes in the region they control. And as long as that remains the case, there's nothing really much the general populace can do to stand against them. I'm reluctant to comment on how others choose to rule their own territories. But harassing one's people like this seems clearly inappropriate. I've heard many rumors about the current head of the house. I've heard many rumors about the current head of House Alberea. The current head is Eustace's dad, right? So couldn't we just ask Eustace for some help here? I doubt there's anything he could do among the nobility. Decisions made by the head of the house are absolute. And since the Albereas represent one of the four great houses, that old tradition is absolutely guarded to be alive and well. The Emperor himself is probably the only one with more power than the heads of the four great houses. Guess that's no, then. I see you're all busy mulling things over. Excellent, excellent. Instructor Sarah? What brings you here? I figured it was about time for me to get going. Group B's not getting anything done, as expected, so I'm off to help sort them out. What? You're going to see Group B? Now? The town of Parm is a considerable distance from here. Now, you let me worry about that. You four are perfectly capable of looking after yourselves anyway, right? Put your heads together and think, and I'm certain you'll see what you need to do. Adios be with you. I'll be looking forward to your report. I can't believe it. It's as though she knows exactly what's going on. Even though she spent the whole day drinking at the inn, can she read minds or something? I suggest we return to our room and rest for the night. In any case, we still have our reports to write, so an earlier dinner seems wise. I'm so tired. I feel like I am going to fall asleep at the dinner table without even making it to my bed. Yes, we'll do that. But yeah, I'm gonna need to study more on OBS. But yeah, if you like the stream, definitely give it a like. Comment, of course, and yeah, feel free to spread awareness of my channel to other people around the net. And follow me over here on Kick and YouTube. Oh yeah, and
that was delicious.
oh yeah, and I will probably most likely not be streaming tomorrow because it's Christmas and I'll be spending time with family. So yeah. As for I think Thursday, although I might be streaming a lot later on Thursday because I have work, but and then I think Friday through Sunday, since I'm gonna be at work, you won't really see much videos, unfortunately. I mean, a lot of streaming happening those days. But, yeah.
Those are some seriously fresh vegetables, too.
Yeah, nothing beats food made from local ingredients.
I quite enjoyed the rye bread myself.
I suppose this whole field study thing isn't so bad when you take the menu into account. I wonder what the others in Group B are doing right now.
Somehow, I doubt they're sitting around a table and talking like we are.
That would certainly be a shock if they were. I can't help but question what exactly Class 7's purpose is, though. Instructor Sarah says it's about Arcus, but I don't think that's the only reason we've been brought together.
I'm certain it's not. If that were all, today's field study tasks would serve little purpose.
It seems as though she's trying to make us experience, I don't know, things. Like all kinds of things, big and small. What I can't wrap my head around, though, is why.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to put everything in its place, why don't you just go with the flow for a change? It seems like you're desperately trying to find something. But if you don't plant yourself somewhere, you're just gonna blow away
hey,
with
Sky.
the next big gust that comes along.
Smithers, who's that blonde-haired boy? It's just a virtual 3D avatar. And besides, I've kind of now chosen just to be a VTuber in some regard.
What do we have to offer one another, when our reasons for enrolling at Thor's in the first place are undoubtedly very different?
Our reasons?
I hadn't considered that.
My reason for enrolling was quite simple. I aim to come ever closer to my goal. Or, rather, to the person whom I regard as such.
Who's that?
This is neither the time nor the place to discuss such matters. Best to save that topic for another day. What about you, Elisa? Why did you enroll at the academy?
So, how's it going with you, Sky?
There's no one single reason, but I think I just wanted to assert my independence. I mean, my situation back at home isn't exactly ideal, and this seemed like a good way to get out and do more, I guess.
I see.
It sounds like I'm probably in the minority then. See, I wasn't intending on coming here at all originally. I wanted to do something completely different.
You did?
Oh yeah, you said you were really hoping you'd get into a music academy, right?
Oh?
Well, I wasn't that serious about it or anything.
I'm in my area today, so I had to shovel. Oh, boy, that must have been tough. I actually went up to Idaho Falls once, actually. And it pretty much snowed up there, actually, quite a bit. I ended up, my family went up there to stay with my brother and my sister-in-law. I've only been up there, I think, once or twice.
What about you, Reen? You're the last holdout, and since you're the one who brought it up, it's only fair you answer the question too.
Me? I wanted to find myself, I guess.
Find yourself?
Huh?
Sorry. That makes it sound like a much bigger deal than it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, though when it comes to family shit, family stuff, I'm very, like, antisocial. Like, I'm more just, like, listening to things, but I have a hard time interacting with other people. Mostly, that's just how I was raised in my childhood. Like, every single moment or time, like, I've gotten yelled at all the time, I just stood there, like, just took it in without even, like, fighting back, and I don't know, I've always had a hard time connecting with others, and parties and such are really, really hard for me because it's hard for me to socialize with other people. Unless, of course, like, they're they're my friends and they like talking to me, but other than that, when it comes to strangers, I really have a hard time connecting with other people.
That's the best way I can think of to put it, though.
Nothing wrong with that. Going on a journey of self-discovery? It's actually a pretty cool answer.
Yeah, I had no idea you were such a romanticist. You sure don't come across as one.
I shouldn't have said anything.
So, but yeah, tomorrow I will be probably with my oldest brother, my father, my stepmother, and my sister-in-law. Yeah, well, I have two sister-in-laws. My oldest one is also married, so I'll be with them. Although something tells me I'm not gonna like tomorrow. I don't know. Something tells me. Mostly, it's regarding with my father and myself. Obviously, can't really go into details, but yeah.
But we're not actually going to sleep yet, are we? Not until we write our reports for the day.
Are we? Not until we write. Oh, yeah.
I want to shut off my brain so badly right now, but it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon.
She seems to have forgotten all about the room situation, and I'm not about to remind her.
Reen?
What is it?
I was unsure whether to ask or not, but I've decided that this question bears answering. Why have you chosen to hold back?
What?
Your sword style and technique. It is the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade school, is it not? Popularized by the sword hermit, Yun Ka-Fai, it combines the best elements of other Eastern sword styles. Those who master any of its forms are referred to as a divine blade, and are said to understand the true nature of all things.
You certainly know an awful lot about it. I didn't think it was particularly renowned here in the Empire.
We of the Arcade School consider the studying of other swordsmanship styles to be an essential part of our training.
Yeah. One thing I like about Lara is how how smart and how talented I feel like she is. She's really good at analyzing things. Even when when we don't tell her anything, she's really good at sensing and analyzing.
In addition, my father once told me, if you follow the path of the sword, it is only a matter of time before you encounter a follower of the 8 Leaves.
Your father said that? It's an honor to be acknowledged by the Radiant Blade Master himself. I'm nothing special, though. I'm just a dropout who's never even been able to progress past beginner level. I did train under Master Ka-Fai for a while. But I started to feel like I couldn't go any further with my abilities, and he cut my training short.
What?
So I'm really not holding back. Honest. I actually kind of feel like I'm dirtying the good name of the Eight-Leaf School, in fact. But this is my limit. I'm sorry I can't quite live up to your expectations. Laura?
You have no reason to apologize to me. This is a matter you must come to terms with on your own. Though I'll admit to some disappointment, I was hoping you'd prove to be a good sparring partner. I'm going to practice outside for a bit. Please go and finish your report with Elisa and Elliot.
There's a lot he doesn't want to talk about, huh? I can see in his eyes sometimes that he's bottling something up and trying really hard to keep anyone else from noticing.
You've noticed it too? You sure have taken quite an interest in him.
I was just trying to work out the best time to apologize, that's all.
Yeah, being a dropout isn't so bad. Could always go on adventures and gain a harem. Kind of true, honestly. Although I feel like, to be honest, if he wanted to, he could, I don't know, head back and try to maybe like send a letter out to his master and see if maybe he could just leave for a bit and just go and finish learning. Or maybe he could also, well, actually, I forgot in this game there is no, well, I mean, there's the Orbital Net, which is kind of like modern day internet, which he could technically use and, you know, self-teach himself, more, actually. That's what he could do, actually. I mean, in some games, like, you literally learn how to be, essentially, self-taught. I mean, in Kingdom Hearts, like, Sora taught himself how to use the Keyblade. He didn't even bother to find a teacher to teach him to use the Keyblade. Unlike how Terra and Aqua pretty much learned under, not even Sid, Ericus. They learned under Ericus. But yeah, I mean, still, Reen could learn to handle, you know, could learn to use some other techniques if he just spent some time, like, outside during off hours and just go into the Orbital Net room and just teach himself. Look up some skills on things he needs to master, and then he just go and self-teach himself that while no one is looking. But then again, I'm also in kind of same line with Reen, where it's like I feel like I have things that I really wish I could tell people around me in real life, but it's just really, really hard because I don't know. I'm starting to not to trust more in myself and just not let other people in my circle, just because I feel like, well, due to this whole entire past year, I've learned some things, like how, I don't know, like how for the most part, you know, people can manipulate your feelings, try to make you feel like, you know, insufficient to other people and all sorts. So I can understand where Reen is coming from.
It's not like I've been consciously paying attention to him or anything, honestly.
But yeah, one thing with Lisa is that she has taken somewhat of an interest in Reen, which actually reminds me, I do have a coworker that kind of has an interest in me, but like, she doesn't like to talk to me that much, honestly. Rather, it's like I just don't know how to talk to her. Mostly because it's like, oftentimes, like, whenever I'm feeling sad, it's like, okay, I want to tell her stuff, but she'll just flat out just cut me off short and then just go somewhere else. And just makes me feel terrible. And it's like, and then whenever like I'm just normal and then she's in upset mood, I tried talking to her, and then she just does the same exact thing to me. So it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do here? Plus, she also says, oh, I care about you and such, but what am I supposed to do with this situation? Like, literally. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's best for me to just go away and do something else.
Reen's not the only one bottling up his feelings, though, is he? You've been doing the same thing.
Yeah, I guess I have.
Ooh, you're moving up in the world. I've got a little reward here for you. Drinks are on me someday.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, for me, honestly, I'm kind of like just trying to put myself back together, and I don't know. I mean, that's one of the reasons like why I feel like I want to my retail place is Target, and honestly, I feel like a lot of my coworkers there, like most of them speak Spanish, and it's like I don't know Spanish, nor do I have really interest in learning Spanish. I mean, I'm more interested in Japanese, mostly because I love the Japanese language and I think it's amazing. And honestly, I don't know. When it comes to to girls, it's like they're so complicated to understand, and honestly, I don't know. I feel like over there, I feel like I've been having my feelings being manipulated a lot. I mean, there was one girl that, she works over at Starbucks, and I felt like at the beginning, she took some self-pity, and then, of course, she just, tried to get me to open up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I felt like I could trust her, and then when I asked her to a Christmas party, she, literally said to me, oh, no, sorry, I have a boyfriend, but, it's great and such, and then I was kind of like, yeah, I kind of knew that in the first place, and I kind of felt like, you could have just said no to me, literally. And yeah, and I felt she was making it even worse on me, and then now I feel like an idiot, and I feel like I should never have bothered asking her, but part of me just said okay, I have, even though I had that feeling that says I better not ask her, but part of me just still wanted to go for it anyways. So I feel like half of that part I blame myself, but then the other half the part I just feel like I got manipulated. Even though, she was doing some nice things for me, like letting me take, some free pizza along, even though I didn't get to pay for it, and she just, let me take it, and such. So, naturally, I feel like such an idiot, and I feel like I can't really trust any girl now. Just because they're big on lying, and they're also really good at manipulating people, or actually manipulating a man's feelings to get what they want. And then when push comes to shove, they then just, turn that guy that they did like, and saying that, oh, I have a boyfriend and such. And I know, people saying, recently have been telling me, oh, you have to, they could just be lying to you. But I'm like, how am I supposed to know if they're lying to me, literally? I'm not a woman expert, so I don't really know much about women in general. Oh. Okay, so these aren't mandatory. Monster has been sighted on the West Celdic Highway. We'd be appreciated if someone took it out. Strong bridge leading to Heimdall on the West Celdic Highway. Yesterday I found a wallet on the floor in front of my stall. Would someone be willing to find its owner for me? Huh. Even fewer than yesterday's. Maybe he gave us less work to do because he knew we were going back to Trista today. Sounds about right. He is a very considerate man. Yeah. Yeah, I personally, I really hate a lot of customers, like literally. That's why, like, I hate being up at checkout because it's like a lot of them have like are like I feel like I see a lot of them that are pretty much like mostly married. Maybe a few that are like single, but I feel like most of them are always married, or have a fiance. And I always see some of them like with kids, and I'm like, I don't know. And I feel like whenever I see kids, I just feel like I don't have any feelings toward kids. Like, I feel like to me, I don't really want to have kids. Kids are expensive and it costs a lot of money, and it's like, you know what? I'm fine with one particular human having one particular human who's a female, and that's it. I think that's fine. Or even just being around multiple women, and that's it. Like, literally. I don't really have a care in the world to, like, literally have children. Even though, yeah, I remember in Fullmetal Alchemist, there was that one moment, it was about, like, you know, the early days of how Hohenheim was a slave, and then, the dwarf in the class told him, you know, gave him the power to be free and such, and then I remember, like, oh, you know, I'm thankful to you, you know, maybe one day I can, you know, start a family and such. And then the dwarf in the flask was like, how very unfortunate for you humans. Unless you learn to colonize, your species can't live for very long. And I felt like, okay, you know, he has kind of a point. I mean, but honestly, I don't know. I feel like these days being single is actually a lot better. I know, like, you know, for women, it's kind of terrible because it's like women need to feel like they need a guy to, I don't know, it's kind of a complicated situation. But then again, women live longer than men, so that kind of says a lot right there. You get those done quickly enough, you can have dinner here before you leave. Laura, I wanted to apologize for what I said to you yesterday evening. Rain? As I told you then, this is a matter you must come to terms with on your own. It is not something for which an apology is required. That's not really what I mean. I wanted to apologize for making light of the way of the sword. What I said about being a dropout who's never been able to progress past beginner level was disrespectful. To Master Kafai, to school I follow, and to the path of the sword itself, and for those reasons I feel it was inappropriate of me to say what I said, so I'm sorry. In this case, then there is one other person you should be apologizing to as well. I can't pretend to know much about your personal circumstances, but regardless of one's background or social standing, one should always be able to live with pride in him or herself. Thus, if you truly did make light of yourself and your own abilities, that is an act of shame for which you owe yourself recompense. Let me ask you a question, Rain. Do you like the path of the sword? It's not really a matter of liking it or disliking it, I don't think. It's a part of my life, an inseparable part of who I am. That's all I wanted to hear. I feel exactly the same way. So you two are friends again, then? Were we not? There was never any rift between us that I knew about. Indeed, this was all about handled rather neatly, I felt. You're both so simple-minded. I feel like an idiot spending so much time trying to devise a plan to get the two of you to make up. Whoa, you did what now? It would seem we've caused you undue concern. Jeez, can we just all forget about this and move on? Looks like the ground's dried after the rainfall, so to speak. Glad to see you're all looking a bit less gloomy. Margit, we've got trouble. Big, big trouble. Slow down, Luis. It's first thing in the morning and you're about to poise to wake up the dead. You're making such a commotion. Where have you been, anyway? You're late. I'm sorry. I just got caught up on the way here. But never mind that. We have big, big trouble. Something terrible happened over at the market. Something terrible, you say? What terrible thing has happened, exactly? Well, it sounds like it actually took place last night. 2 of the stalls over at the market were destroyed, and all their merchandise was stolen. That is most terrible indeed. Yeah. That's one thing that did aggravate me, is that the 2 characters in anime can't confess their feelings. It's clear. Yeah, I mean, okay, if it were me, I would like. If it were me, since I feel like I can come out and admit that I actually do have a heart for more than one woman in real life. I feel like if I were in Rain's situation, I'd feel like I would actually have a huge, ginormous love interest for both Elisa and Laura, who are literally, they're actually 2 of the most sexiest characters in the game, honestly. I mean, Emma's cool too, I'm not gonna lie, Emma's a cool character as well. But then again, if I were to add her to the mix, then yeah. It's actually funny, at my new job, I feel like I have like 3 chicks that have sort of an interest in me. Well, 2 of them, one of them actually, I can really see in her eyes. The other one kinda does, and then the last one, even though she doesn't really show a lot of interest, I feel like she still kinda likes me in a way. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like that's what I sense. But I could be wrong though about that. But yeah, with Rain and Laura got that. Actually, I do remember at the end of the game, you actually get a choice to choose who you want to spend your time with, whether if it's like Elisa, Laura, Emma, or something. I end up like always choosing Elisa. But then again, like, I mean, I always end up, well, yeah, actually, I do end up choosing Elisa. Which I guess is okay, I suppose. A robbery? Oh, my. I suppose that means the market might be opening late today. Which means we could end up with more customers as people wait here for a resolution. Louise, let's get this place ready. You got it. As for you 4, this is our problem, not yours. You just focus on your field study, and leave this incident to us locals. You have your own tasks to worry about after all. Of course. What should we do? I have to admit, I'm curious. Might as well just go take a look. I'm sorry, the Grand Market isn't quite open for business yet. Oh, it's the students from yesterday. Good morning. Opening late today after all, I see. Afraid so. Guess you already know about the robbery yesterday, huh? The two merchants whose stalls were destroyed are still arguing about it. You bastard! You're not going to get away with this! Oh no, not them. The manager came to try and break them up, but he doesn't seem to be having much luck. I hope no one ends up getting hurt. What should we do, Rain? Maybe we can try talking to them. Considering everything that has happened yesterday, it just might be the cavalry we need right now. Would you mind? Not all. Let's go. How dare you destroy my stall, you damned coward. I knew you country folk weren't to be trusted. Who else could it have been? Just come clean and admit it already. Who are you calling a coward, you Heimdallrian snob? You're the one who wanted my spot all for yourself. Calm down, gentlemen, please. Playing all innocent and trying to paint me as the bad guy here, you make me sick. What do you say we settle this right here and now? Bring it on. Hold it. Class 7. You kids again? Keep your nose out of this. I'm gonna make him pay for smashing my stall. Smashing? I feel like sometimes I'm actually good at voice acting. I don't know why. Wow, they really are completely ruined. This is awful. However, harming one another is not going to bring them back. In the end, they will still be smashed and you will be worse off. But this anger isn't gonna go away unless I do something. He took all my goods too, so I haven't even got anything to sell. What are you talking about? You were the one who stole my goods. And you're gonna give them all back right now and fix the damage you did to my stall, or else I can't be held responsible for my actions. This isn't good. I don't think they're gonna even listening to a word we're saying. What do we do? Stop this at once. The provincial army. What? What is the meaning of this? It's the middle of the morning. Stop this nonsense immediately. But I believe you are the one in charge here. I demand an explanation as to what has transpired. Well, you see, the Mario manager explained to the provincial army officer what had happened the previous night. I see. The solution is simple then. Men, take them away. Yes, sir. What? What do you mean, take us away? 2 stalls were destroyed. 2 sets of goods were stolen. The truth is as clear as day. 2 merchants in the midst of a heated disagreement committed the same crime at the same time. But that's not fair. Do you not think it's premature to draw such a conclusion without any investigation? The provincial army doesn't have time to waste solving the petty squabbles of merchants. but I'm not an unreasonable man. Cease your dispute, and you will be left alone. Continue, and you come with us. The choice is yours. They're trying to force both merchants to forget this ever happened, to sweep the whole ordeal under the rug. Yeah, something about this seems really wrong. Ugh. Very good, then. I'm sure you can agree that wasting time on shenanigans like this is detrimental to all parties involved. I hope you'll think twice before causing such a ruckus ever again. Now, if you'll please excuse us, I'm a busy man and I have more pressing matters to attend to. There they go. Well, I guess they did stop those two from fighting, but they did nothing to solve the underlying problem. This isn't right. I see now how the provincial army here conducts itself. I'm sure you're both still pretty angry about this, but right now the two of you need to focus on keeping cool-headed. If you have the time to fight, try to use that time for something more productive instead. You'll feel a lot better. Yeah, I shouldn't have let my anger take control of me like that. We can't open the Grand Market for business until we've cleaned up these busted stalls. And we're already running late. So, I hate to ask, but would you all mind lending me a hand? Market Manager Otto, with assistance from the merchants of the market, cleared away the remains of the two stalls. And with the help of Rain and the others on top of that, the Grand Market was finally able to open for the day, albeit behind schedule. Thanks to you four, we were able to open the Grand Market for business today, a bit quicker than I expected. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am. Oh, there's no need for that. We barely did anything. I'm just glad no one got hurt. All the more reason to thank you. A merchant's stall is his livelihood. Any action taken against it can throw him into blind rage, and it's hard to bring someone back from that. It would seem the problems facing the merchants in this town are quite grave indeed. The provincial army may have intervened, but it's difficult to believe they'd make no attempts to find an amicable solution. Quite right. It's clearer than ever now that they have no intention of trying to resolve any issues involving the market. And I can't see that changing unless we decide to just accept the sales tax increase and keep quiet about it. Still, you'd think they'd at least be a little more subtle about the whole thing. There's no way those two merchants are just going to accept this and move on. No, I don't suppose they will. And if word gets out about this, it's not inconceivable for certain groups of people to begin boycotting the marketplace. Something definitely has to be done. I'm just not sure what. Is something wrong, Rain? You're awfully quiet. Are you feeling unwell? Sir, I have a favor to ask. Would you consider allowing us to investigate this morning's incident? What? Are you suggesting that we attempt to find the perpetrator who destroyed the merchant stalls ourselves? It's a kind offer, but as I said yesterday, this is our affair, not yours. You're students, you have your own studies to worry about, and I wouldn't feel right interfering with them. We're students training for the military, though. We can't just stand by and allow something so unjust to go unchallenged. It's the provincial army's responsibility to address this, sure, but they're shirking their duties here, and that reflects poorly on us all. Well, that's true enough, I guess. But do you really think we're up for something like this? I kind of have to wonder about that too. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just amateurs. We should at least check with Instructor Sarah first and see what she thinks. She's already told us. Put your heads together and think, and I'm sure you'll see what you need to do. Her words. This seems like exactly the sort of thing she meant. At least, it does to me. Oh. I see your point. Perhaps matters such as this may fall under the scope of our field study, after all. Yeah, you do make a good case. I'm still not sure we're up to it, but I guess it can't hurt to try. Neither seek nor shun the fight. Very well, we shall do what we can. Are you really sure about this? I'm certainly not going to say no. I'm very concerned about the market and the safety of our merchants. So, if you're 100% sure, I have to admit I truly would appreciate anything you can do for us. Thank you, sir. We'll do everything in our power to find answers for you. Just be careful. Don't go seeking out trouble. I don't want you kids being put in danger. We're dealing with a criminal who acts under cover of night. He may be capable of a lot more than just thievery and vandalism. Remember, I'm responsible for your safety if anything were to happen to you. I couldn't even look Van Dyke in the eye anymore. We'll be careful, we promise. I know I will, at least. I probably need to be more careful than anyone else here. Now that that's settled, we should act quickly. Yeah, let's get this investigation started. So, first things first, we need to decide where to start investigating. The logical starting point would be the Grand Market itself, the scene of the crime. Can't argue with that. We should probably get statements from those two merchants before anything else. Indeed, I anticipate they've calmed themselves by now, so perhaps we can get something a bit more substantial from them. We still have to ascertain their innocence or guilt in the matter as well. We'll need to keep a close eye on the time though. If we miss the last train toward Heimdall, we'll have no way of getting back to the academy today. Plus, we've been given other tests too. I'd really like to get them done. In short, we need to keep moving. Our deadline is 9 p.m. Let's use every minute we have to accomplish everything as fast as we can. Alright. Well, let's see.
Right, here we go.
This is east, right? Right. Oh, someone's wallet by my store yesterday. I believe it was this morning. Doesn't matter. Do you have a moment? There's something we'd like to ask you. You're looking for Annabelle. Oh yeah, Toonami was good too. I remember Toonami. Jeez. Yeah, I remember. I remember Sailor Moon. I used to be obsessed with Sailor Moon, actually, back when I was a kid. Yeah, Sailor Moon, Inuyasha, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. Yeah. Although, back then, I only saw, like, maybe, like, 1 or 2 episodes of One Piece, but I don't know, I kind of quit watching it recently. I didn't really, I don't know, I got past, like, the first maybe couple arcs, but after that I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't really like One Piece that much, to be honest. It's just not my thing. And I like something with like a little bit more action packed, and I don't know. I'm not really like into a lot of pirate themed type of shows, to be honest. I like something with a little more qualifying action. I think I don't remember that part, honestly. No, I do remember watching a lot of Pokemon, actually. Actually, I do remember I had a VHS video of Pokemon, the first movie featuring Mewtwo. That one was actually my favorite. And then the second one with where they venture on to, I forget what city it was, but essentially this one girl, she apparently like lost her father to the unknown, but the father actually ended up like being transported somewhere else, and in its place was Entei or whatever, one of like legendary Pokemon. That I do remember. And then I do remember seeing the one with Rayquaza. I do remember seeing one with Lucario. Yeah. To recognize as what, would you? Well, where did you find it? I mean, it's within people's hearts, after all, it would seem. Regardless, I'm very grateful. I stopped at Pokemon 3. Oh. Yeah. I also felt like it was kind of weird in that movie, the way like how the girl, like how Entei just made a copy of the girl, when it's like literally she could have like just dragged the girl down and just made her into a Pokemon trainer, but I don't know. Just what sort of monster is it then? Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't remember that episode, to be honest. Well, yeah. But I mean, back then, like, it was okay to be, like, you know, to be a little bit over the top, honestly. Okay, guess I can't go there. Alright, yeah. Still, I mean, back then, you know, it was okay for to make shows that were a little bit on the naughty side, honestly. But nowadays, it's like, due to the fact is that everybody is just so sensitive to things. It's like you can't make anything that breaks the bounds from censorship. Like, you can't add fourth wall humor to shows, which is just stupid, literally. I mean, the whole point of adding some humor into it is to get you to laugh, you know? It's sometimes okay to break norms and just make fun of it. I mean, like, look at South Park, for example. South Park itself, like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they literally take every day, they look at whatever is trending, like, week by week, and then essentially they make it into being something completely hilarious. Like, they made fun of Kathleen Kennedy, you know, because you know, she's a well-known figure, because, you know, she's part of Lucasfilms. So, yeah, I mean, and it's okay for a lot of companies to actually, for a lot of production companies to make something that goes a little bit out, you know, that breaks the wall of censorship. But apparently, no, we can't have comedy this day and age because everybody is very sensitive. It's like, fuck the people who are sensitive. Break the wall, break the humor. It's okay to go a little bit, it's okay to break the wall, like, literally. I mean, hell, you know, I've seen a lot of metal music songs, and a lot of metal bands, they, like, Nanowar Steel, they, like, literally break fourth wall humor in their songs because they make parodies of stuff, literally. Still, I don't really watch Pokemon nowadays. I mean, it's kind of like gotten pretty stale. I mean, since like Brock and Misty left on their own adventures, kind of like, eh. I mean, I didn't really finish much of Black and White, and I remember I did watch Diamond and Pearl, but other than that, like, I really just don't really see the whole thing when it comes to with Brock and Misty missing and Ash being completely changed to a different character for current day Pokemon. I just don't really care much for Pokemon these days. I really don't. What did I ever do to deserve this? Going on with my little avatar thing. God. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the dirty jokes were in there. I mean, like, literally. If you've ever seen Panty and Stocking, oh my god, that show is so crude. So crude, so dirty, but it's actually very funny. Because, I mean, it's all about Panty and Stocking, who are pretty much like angels that got descended from heaven. They got kicked out of heaven, and they have to earn these metal things. And if they earn enough of them, they can actually come back to heaven and such. But yeah, Panty is like the chick who is pretty much all about sex, and then Stocking is all about sugars and sweets. But man, it's so funny like how they use their weapons, because Panty, she like literally pulls off her panties and uses it as a gun, and then Stocking takes her stockings off or whatever and use them as swords. That to me is just so funny. Plus they only made like one season, but they never managed to create like a second or third season, unfortunately. But you can still find it off of Crunchyroll or Amazon Prime, or you can also get it on DVD actually, which actually is funny. I actually did, to be honest. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. There's even like one episode where like literally at the end of it, like it's all about like just raining down underwear. I'm like, what the and I'm kind of like, what the fuck? It got me laughing so hard because it's so funny. I forget which episode. I think it was like episode episode 2 or episode 3. But yeah, there's this one episode where like all of a sudden, like at the end, like all of a sudden it just comes raining down like underwear, and it's, oh my god, it's so funny. It's literally hilarious. And then there's one episode where like they kind of use the whole Transformers thing, and they turn Panty and Stocking into Transformers, and they fight amongst each other. And then eventually, like at the end, they actually end up coming back to normal from being a Transformer. So yeah. Explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what happened the previous night. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. That is true, but we're still determined to find out who did this. We may even be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Guess I shouldn't have left the stall unattended though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed has been done. So by morning the stall had been destroyed and your goods stolen? Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Oh, I have a sample with me, actually. An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? Okay, interesting. I've never heard of that anime before. I actually was watching the anime last night. What's it called? It's a brand new one. It's called, I think it's called Bottom Tier something character Tomazaki second stage. I actually am almost done with it. There's only like 3 episodes left of it. It's a really, really short anime. It's like really like 13 episodes, I think. and I just got to the part where this mentor or teacher of the main character of the MC, she tells him to essentially, which girl do you like, and such, and she literally was like, okay, yeah, so here's what you want to do. I want you to take a picture of wherever it is that you are, whether it's with your friends or whatnot, and then decide, okay, which of the girls at the class do you like. And well, it ended up like with him picking two, and with one of his classmates helping him, like by taking him to an all-girls school and looking at arts and such, and showing him the ropes of how to be a wingman. And yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I feel like that's something that's missing in my life. But even still, like, I mean, I'm an introvert, so I actually like literally have a hard time with like going up to random women, random everyday women, and trying to get their numbers. But yeah, I'm like, that is kind of like me right now, where it's like, oh, okay, so I'm supposed to be the one who has to lead the conversation, and I'm supposed to be the one who has to go up and make the first move and everything. And I'm like, such a hassle. Why do I have to do it? Why not make women should do it? I mean, after all, women are the ones that want men the most. Suspect. Please try to stay calm. Know that if you cause any more problems, the provincial army really will arrest you, right? Yeah, I know, but it's a matter of justice. I'll have to check it out if I can. I'm just trying to get back into watching anime now, actually. Sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're those kids from Military Academy, right? Huh. What do you want from me? I've got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. I'm basically ruined. And to top it all off, the provincial army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, what happened the previous night? You're investigating this mess, huh? Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand, but hell, I've got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So, about last night. At the time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking here. See, I left the market right after arguing with that merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place, another merchant. Just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. I wandered over there with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And as if that weren't bad enough, all the processed food I was going to sell were just gone without a trace. So the goods that were stolen were all processed food? That's right. Nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have a long shelf life, made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff. Oh, so I'm actually talking about actual. Huh, interesting. There's one anime I do remember seeing. It's called Gamer. Throughout it's about like this one guy who's so addicted to gaming, and such. He I forget what it is. I think I've only seen like a few episodes of it, but it's definitely a good anime to watch. Yeah. And that's why I went over to the fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so we could have that spot all to himself. Doesn't make any sense. If Heinz did it, then why was his stall destroyed too? He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know, that seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive. Well, I understand your frustration. Baseless accusations do no one any favors and only cloud the one. Well, I understand your frustration. Accusations do no one actually favors and only cloud the true issue. Right, because of this. But that is bad. Pure and simple. All the hard work I've put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me. Well, I'll be honest, if I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you. But we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. And that's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other stalls. But the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without cross-paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened. So we're going to have to look elsewhere to find viable suspects. I mean, who could it possibly been? It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The murder itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, so we should focus on our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions don't seem to make any sense. maybe, if we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior, we can come one step closer to finding our culprit. What? Whom do you mean? I'm talking about... the Provincial Army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve this crime despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue, which means the Provincial Army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is, they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, then the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly, there's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go to the Army's guardhouse and take a look around? We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That might be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head over and see what we can find out. Well, let's see. Anime that's, to me, right now, currently, that's a little bit overrated. Well, let's see. A lot of people talk about Demon Slayer. They talk about, well, yeah, Demon Slayer. What else? There's a couple other animes that they also talk about. But I feel like Demon Slayer is one of them that's a little bit too much talked about. Way too much. Where is this place? But yeah, let me see. Yeah, Demon Slayer, yeah, I think people also talk a little bit about Naruto. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, whenever I'm around everywhere, people don't talk about all the newer animes. Or even like they don't talk about Bleach, they don't talk about Dr. Stone, they don't talk about Rising a Shield Hero, they don't talk about... A lot of it's just really just talk about Demon Slayer a lot, actually. What are you doing here? Terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town on a field study as students of Thor's Military Academy. We would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. This seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study, and could prove most invaluable to our education, if you permit it. Alright, stay here, I'll see what I can do. It looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves, after all. Nicely done, Laura. In times like these, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn, after all. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right. I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So what do you want? And make it quick, I'm a busy man, you know. He's not even trying to keep an appearance. Unbelievable. God. This guy, every time I look at guys like this guy, who's the guard leader with the mustache, he looks like the same guy from Mary Poppins. Seriously, I've seen that movie when I was a kid multiple times, and yeah, he looks like he looks. Oh wait, no. Wait, no, is that from Mary Poppins? No, it's Yeah, either that or Home Alone. One of the two. It's like you see the same exact guy almost every different different provincial armies have the same exact guy, literally. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the provincial army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to ask? Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintenance peace in this region not taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You've got a big mouth for someone your age. And it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the #1 priority of the provincial army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you, their #1 priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling lord, Duke Alberea. As members of the provincial army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So, you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect. Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers. We follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but it sure doesn't seem too likely anymore. So, is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. Wait, would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot? Fine, ask it. Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample. What are you talking about? The merchant from the capital, Heinz, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What? What did you just say? What are you all looking at me like that for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered that each of the merchants was intending to sell a short... was intending to sell a short while ago ourselves. Sir? We have our own ways of finding these things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now, we've wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. Oh. Do you think the fact that they know what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? But the burglary happened last night, and it was only first discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that time for them to do any digging, not without running into us. Agreed. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident, though that would be easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alvarea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. It was probably done to get them to start fighting, so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically, to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. That seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the provincial army has shown no interest in actively working toward a solution, unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, then showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truth. Eventually, the merchants would get worn down enough that they'd feel like they have no choice but to withdraw the petition. This is turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we've finally uncovered the truth of the matter. That was indeed some variety quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I got lucky, that's all. So, what we know is the provincial army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. The only way to solve it, once and for all though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the provincial army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. The soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such escapades. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still here in Celdic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a huge volume of goods without them being found. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped by train. No, they can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. It's been less than a day since the burglary happened, so they can't have gone far. Maybe we should ask around the main roads and see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving, or even entering the town. That sounds like a wise course of action. Come, let's resume our search. We mustn't... I wouldn't dream of it. Alright. Is something the matter? I was just chasing after Lulu near the west exit of town, and there was this weird man asleep along the side of the street. A weird man? Sleep in the midst of a bustling town like this? Oblivious to its danger, suggesting he must possess formidable skill. Or he was just really drunk. The nasty smell coming off of him nearly made Lulu faint. That's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye out Lulu to make sure she keeps her distance from him. So he's not from this town then. I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I never seen him before that. Really now, that sounds like a lead, if ever I heard one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant, at the very least. Yeah, I think we should go talk to him. See if we can. This guy breaks. How much has he put down? It's only midday and he's already completely blitzed. I don't think this is the man we're looking for. I think he'd have trouble pulling off a robbery. Sir, are you alright? We can help you back home if you'd like. Sure. Leave me alone. Lost his job. Nature Park. Told me I was sacked. Can't just take a man's livelihood off. I'm like that. Take a man's job away. Bunch of kids in major uniforms went walking out of town through the west gate exit. Carried a bunch of wooden boxes too. In the middle of the night. Kids and things, I tell you. You didn't think they could have been a nature park. I wouldn't even have considered it. But a park with no large enough area fits perfectly. Lock the entrance, leave a couple of lookouts, and no one would suspect a thing for a very long time. And if a provincial officer was the one to tell him he was fired, that's practically a smoking gun. Try to sober yourself up instead. Alright. I'll be back in just a moment, guys. I need to go. I just need to go for a bathroom run. Alright. Let's see.
It's my turn.
Right!
My turn.
Go!
We should take a right here to reach the nature park.
Right. Let's go.
Enemies ahead! We'll have to fight. Right! Yeah!
Of course.
Here we go!
I can do this. Fire!
Too slow!
My turn!
Go!
Of course. Off guard.
I'll pick you up!
Alright.
You fought well, Ellie.
It's all I can do to keep up with you.
Right.
My turn!
My turn.
I've got this!
I think I'm supposed to. Hold on.
This looks tough. Careful!
Here we go!
Right. Turn to flames. Burn! Go!
My turn! Arcus activate!
Of course. Arcus activate.
My turn!
My turn!
Ah, nice. I just inflicted poison. Awesome!
I can do this. Turn to flames. Burn! Now!
Right.
Here we go!
My turn. Behold, my most powerful strike. Radiant blade dance.
My turn!
You have my thanks.
Here we go!
I can do this.
I'm sorry, everyone.
It's my turn. Hang in there.
You have my thanks.
Thanks!
My turn.
Thanks!
Right.
Right.
Go!
My turn!
Right. All right. Let's keep on moving.
I did it!
Nicely done.
I did it!
All right.
I've only just begun.
God, that play was ridiculous.
Lunaria Nature Park, huh? Seems less like a park and more like a forest.
Yeah, it really does feel a little out of place sitting smack dab in the middle of farmland as far as the eye can see.
It may have had some religious significance in ages past. Perhaps it was a place where the animalists of ancient times chose to enshrine the spirits of the forests. There's a place much like that in my hometown.
Yeah, there's one in mine, too.
That park ranger made it sound like there would be people here. If they really are the culprits, maybe they've run away already?
This woodland is too dense to reliably intuit whether anyone awaits within.
Yeah.
What's this?
It's...
A bracelet?
How did a bracelet come to be in a place such as this?
Just as I thought. This bracelet has the same design on it as the ones that the merchant from the capital was planning on selling.
Really?
You're sure?
Positive. There's not a doubt in my mind that it was designed by the same person. Care to give a second opinion on that, Laura?
I'm hardly qualified to weigh in on recent trends, but there do seem to be a number of similarities between this bracelet and the merchant's goods.
So the fact that it's here means...
Yeah. It's extremely likely the culprits we're looking for are inside this park.
Sure seems that way to me.
It only opens from the inside. I suppose that leaves us little choice.
Are you going to destroy it?
Will you be able to...
The lock seems quite solid, but my sword should be strong enough to...
Wait. I'll do it. I can get it done more quietly.
Oh?
Really?
Well, what are you going to do?
The 8 Leaves One Blade School's 4th form, Autumn Leaf Cutter.
Hmm?
Huh?
Seriously?
Wow! You cut it right in two!
I did, thankfully.
Spectacular. It's an honor bearing witness to one of the skills of the 8 Leaves School.
Thanks, but I'm still more or less a beginner. Anyway, we don't have much time left. Let's head inside and see if we can find them.
Right. We need to find them before the sun starts to set.
Looks like we can still make it after all.
Excellent. Come then, we must make haste.
I'm trying to aware if I should actually like start, if I should stop or it's gonna take a long time.
There's tons of little stone monuments in here.
Yeah. What do you think they're supposed to be?
I imagine they were made by the animists in this province.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here for now, guys, but thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Come by again, not sure when, maybe tomorrow, possibly, I'm not sure. Wait, no, not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Christmas, so I won't be streaming tomorrow during Christmas, but, maybe Thursday, if not, might be till next week, so, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me over on X, help spread awareness by bringing it to everybody else around the net, and yeah, you guys can yeah, follow me over on social media, Instagram, Discord, X. Definitely help spread awareness and join in on it. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. This is AnimeCore85, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.